Tired of listening to the awful minimum wage DJs on your local station? Now you can listen to a guy who works for free out of his parents' basement. The Mo Radio Show on the Showtime Worldwide Radio Network.
Who the heck are you?
What are you talking about? I'm Santa Claus.
No, you're not.
Why, of course I am.
You're Santa. What song did I sing for you on your birthday this year?
Happy birthday, of course. How old are you, son?
4.
You're a big boy. What's your name?
Paul.
And what can I get you for Christmas?
Don't tell him what you want. He's a liar.
Let the kid talk.
You disgust me. How can you live with yourself?
Just cool it, Zippy.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Look, I'm not kidding.
You're a fake.
I'm a fake?
Yes.
How'd you like to be dead? Huh? No, he's kidding.
You stink.
I think you're going to have a good Christmas, all right?
You smell like beef and cheese. You don't smell like Santa.
Okay.
Artie Lange in the movie Elf with Will Ferrell. He is the author of a brand new book called Crash and Burn, and he has the Artie Lange Show weeknights on Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Artie, thanks for joining the show, man. Excited, love the new book. Tell me a little bit about it. Is it hard when you've obviously been a writer for so long, writing movies, beer league, TV, writing bits and comedy stuff, but then delving into your personal life? Is it hard to try to write it? Is it a different style of writing, a different mindset for you?
Yeah, well, it's definitely a different style, different mindset. You know, a lot of the comedy I wrote, stand-up or sketches or whatever, it's definitely stuff you draw from your own life, but you make it funny. And in this book, there's comedy, but it's more serious. I'm not trying to make everything funny because you don't have to. It's a book, and I think the better way to do it is just to make stuff just stay there and be what it is, a serious kind of thing. So it's way different and sometimes even therapeutic,
When you were on the Howard Stern Show, which you joined in 2001, you had been a fan after your dad had introduced you to it, and a lot of things came from that. Then you wrote and starred in Beer League. How was it that you were able to juggle the drug use with the heroin, and then try to keep your professional life on track? Working with Howard, I'm sure, had to be demanding, and being on a movie set, especially being the writer of the movie as well, is demanding. How were you able to keep a balance between the two?
Drugs. At first I could handle everything, and I was, but then I created a schedule for myself that no one could do. It was just stupid what I did. I got addicted to money, and I was like, okay, I'll take this, I'll take that, I'll do everything that comes along, and eventually you find out you can't do it. And I don't know what to say no to, and I didn't have any way of controlling my career, and I just fell off, But in the beginning, when I'm straight and everything's okay, I have a pretty good work ethic. But when you start doing dope and you're a slave to it, you start missing stuff, and that's what happened to me, And it became pretty obvious that I couldn't balance all the stuff anymore, and something had to happen.
Talking with Artie Lange, he is the author of the new book, Crash and Burn. Obviously, being a fan of Howard and getting to be on the show, I'm sure was a pretty awesome thing for you. How is the relationship with Howard today? You had a pretty bad on-air meltdown with your assistant Teddy while you were on the show, quit the show, came back, and then had the suicide attempt and left the show. How is your relationship with Howard and the cast of the show today?
It's good. I don't see those guys a lot or talk to them a lot because we both lead our own lives. We're all adults, but the relationship is good. When I see them or talk to them, we're friendly, and they're concerned for me, and they're happy I'm okay. And, I talked to Gary. He read the book, and, and he said, I'm so sorry you went through that, man. And, he was cool about it. So, I said, yeah, I'm sorry I had to put you guys through that, It's tough when you see a friend and a coworker who's become like a family guy, to go through something like that. And I felt guilty. I had to put my friends and family through it, but we're very friendly, and they're supportive, and I think they're happy I'm okay, you know.
I think watching the show, when you go back and watch the clips of the Stern Show from when you were on, and then watching the Artie Lange Show now, it looks, even from an outside perspective, as a viewer, you just seem different. You seem happier now. It seems like that you have this new joy to you, whether it's work or what have you, that you didn't have towards those latter years of watching the Howard Stern Show. Does it feel completely different to you now, or are you happy where you're at in life? Is it are you able to recapture some of that joy you had while being on Stern, but now being sober?
Yes. I mean, the whole thing. I mean, not having dope in your life is great, and of course that's the whole thing, And I was straight the first 6 years on Howard without the heroin. It was such great times, the greatest time of my career, without question. Now, on my own show, I get to have that back by being clean. If you're doing drugs, if you're doing that amount of drugs I was doing, the only thing you're capable of is sitting at home all day, And if you try to have a crazy busy work schedule like I had with it, eventually you're gonna, crash into the mountain, and that's what happened. So, but the answer is I'm much happier because I'm clean and I love doing my own show.
Talking with Artie Lange, his new book, Crash and Burn, is available now. It seems to me, since the time, in the 80s or back when you started doing comedy, it seems comedy has changed. A lot of stand-up comedians seem like they're on the road now because they have to be waiting for Comedy Central to give them a call. Do you still like getting out in the clubs and seeing the people and doing the shows out there? Because some of the newer comedians, it sort of feels like, okay, being on the road is what I have to do in order to wait for Comedy Central to call me to be on a roast or to have my own special. Do you like getting back out and being in the clubs?
Yeah, I obviously, when I'm actually on stage, it doesn't feel like work. The work for me at this age is getting to the airport, checking your bags, getting that seatbelt speech, getting into the hotel. Hopefully the hotel will have different things that you like in it, and this and that, a mini bar, whatever. And that feels like work to me at this age. It never did in my 20s. This was it was fun. Everything's traveling's fun. Everything's fun. Now it's work. And but if that's what I have to do to get on stage in St. Louis or Omaha, whatever it is, and do stand-up and get that feeling, and quite frankly, the money, that's what I'll do. But, obviously I'm one of the lucky ones. I got a break, and I was able to make a mark somewhere else. You're right. For a lot of comics, they are just waiting for a call. But the better ones like to get good at stand-up. The better ones aren't just waiting for a call. The better ones are trying to get a great hour of stand-up together, and that's what I think is what comedy should be. The ones just waiting for a call, when they get that call, I guarantee they're not going to be that great.
Talking with Artie Lange, the follow-up to Too Fat to Fish is Crash and Burn. As you were going through writing the book, when you looking back over your life, what's the one regret you have for your professional career that you wish you could go back and undo?
Oh God! Well, of course, the first time I accepted heroin. I wish I could go back. I was on the road doing stand-up, and a guy offered it to me who worked at a club, and so I needed it to get on stage, and it was his job to get me on stage, and I would go back. If I can go back and watch that, out of my body, I would do anything to stop me from taking that first line of heroin. Anything. I would hit myself with a bat, tackle me, whatever. Yeah, just say don't do that. You can't do that, and that's it. That's the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
He's the author of Crash and Burn, also the Artie Lange Show on Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. What do you make of the situation going on in Miami with Richie Incognito and Jonathan Martin and that situation with the Dolphins?
Well, the NFL is going to have to get itself in check, man. They really are. I think what they're doing with Miami now, doing an evaluation of that camp, they should do with every team, really thoroughly, because they're putting these crazed monsters into the world that are shooting people, shooting themselves, killing children, women, beating up women. I mean, obviously to be competitive, I think, I'm not sure, but I think they look the other way with steroids. And you got guys that are warriors already, and then they're injecting steroids into their brain probably, and they're becoming madmen. And that's what happened with this Incognito guy. He's clearly a madman. The first thing they got to do is maybe get him off whatever he's taking, and then just have him calm the hell down. The NFL is really a dangerous place to be sometimes, and they're going to have to figure that out.
You've been a part of some of these comedy...
Forget about the violence on the field. Off the field, they got to work on the violence,
You've been a part of some of these comedy roasts with Comedy Central and on the Stern Show. Was there ever a point when people were busting on your weight or your drug use or beer league? Was there ever a part to where you start to take some of that personal, where it almost is like, man, this feels a little bit like bullying. It's all done in fun, but is there ever a point to where it gets personal, to where it starts to bother you with some of these roasts?
No, I don't care. A roast is a roast. The roast over the years, for the first roast I did was Hugh Hefner in 2001 for Comedy Central, and over the years they have gotten more and more vicious. I mean, vicious. Nowadays, a young comic sees that behavior is rewarded. The more vicious the joke, the more attention they'll get, and they might get their own show. Especially some of the women. The women find that if they tell vicious jokes, people might think they're acting like a man, and they might get their own show. And some of them are even clever, but I'm not offended by that at all. I mean, to me, when someone goes at me pretty hard, what happens is I go, all right, now I have full anonymity, autonomy to just go at you. Now I can say whatever the hell I want about you, so thanks for opening that door. Now I won't feel guilty when I talk about, your kids.
Well, you got the Artie Lange Show on Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. The new book, Crash and Burn, is out in bookstores and online everywhere. And folks in the New York, New Jersey area are going to be able to see a lot this month.